This is more of a put it in the bin than declutter it. I mean, it's a very hardcore decluttering because this turned up and it had gone bad. I was given a refund for this. This is Woman. It's called Boss Woman by Hugo Boss. Now, there is one called Hugo Woman by Hugo Boss. It's all very confusing. That actually, I'm not going to lie, they're not the same perfume, but they smell very similar. This one's just more jasmine heavy. So this is Boss Woman. It's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know that there's even any point in me keeping this lid because I can't think that it's such a specific shape. I can't think it will fit anything else. This one is like, I think it's got mango and freesia and I don't know. It's just, I can tell it's gone off because it was really peppery. Yeah, super peppery. But underneath it, I could kind of smell that it kind of smelled like a hybrid of two of my perfumes. One that I like and one that I am decluttering. One is, like I said, Hugo Woman rather than Boss Woman, which is a beautiful grassy tea perfume, but it's sweet. It's really sandalwoody, super pretty, really good kind of office worthy scent. This would have been an office worthy scent, I imagine, if it hadn't have gone off. But this one also smells a little bit like Chapter 2 by Jennifer Aniston. And that one is a jasmine nightmare for me. And it has a kind of really tar-like cedary smell to it, which I think is just a type of synthetic wood that I just can't get along with. But yeah, so I mean, this is going in the bin. But I just wanted to mention it because I've never seen anyone talk about this before. And I imagine you can get, you know, bottles of this that haven't completely gone off. I guess this just wasn't stored very well. But yeah, I mean, perfectly good if you like those kind of classic 90s sweet florals, you know, with a bit of fruit. But yeah, that one straight in the bin. It's actually a tragedy, but there you go. I'm not sure I'd have been able to wear it even if it wasn't going in the bin, to be honest. So this is FC UK. I got this at the with the advice of one of my lovely viewers. I'm not decluttering this because I don't like it. I'm decluttering it because you can only get 100ml bottles and it's absolutely massive, and I just don't need this much of this perfume because I'm not going to wear it enough. This is Friction Night for Her. It's pretty. I actually genuinely can't remember what the notes are supposed to be in here. I think they're supposed to be black pepper and I think maybe is it plum or something? But to me, it smells like Coca-Cola and violets and like a creamy vanilla dry down. So it doesn't smell to me anything like the notes suggest it should. It's really nice, but what I'll do is I'll just take a decant of this one and then I'll get rid of the bottle because it's just too big. It's just way too big. I've probably only worn this twice since I got it, and the first time was obviously just to test it, and then I've only worn it once by choice, and now we're in hot weather, so again it's a little bit too thick for me to wear in hot weather, but it's super pretty and it's a real bargain. If you're gonna get through like a whole bottle of something that's kind of sweet, almost has a violety vibe to it, is kind of almost effervescent and a bit fizzy, definitely woody, slightly like warm, then I would highly recommend this. I think it's really nice, and if I could get a tiny bottle of this then it would be perfect, but I'll just take a decant. So yeah, that's just purely about space. This one also is about space, and to be honest, because I love the original green tea with such a burning passion, that I'm not really interested in any of the flankers particularly. This is one where I bought it because it was new. I think this came out, was it this year or last year? It must have been last summer. And it's perfectly nice. It just isn't the original green tea, and I have no desire to wear it because it just smells slightly like green tea, and I'd rather just wear green tea. And I'm not that bothered about lychee, to be honest. I was hoping it would be more lime than lychee, but I think it's pretty equal here. And lychee in perfumes is kind of like, I don't know, it always comes across as quite sharp to me, even though in real life I find them very delicate lychees and kind of floral and pretty. But yeah, just it's a perfectly nice one, but I always declutter green tea flankers because I just want to wear actual green tea because I love green tea. So I just never reach for it. I've worn it once in the whole time I've had it, so that can go because it's taking up too much space. Speaking of which, oh my god, the size of this one. AV Glamour. by Adrienne Vittadini. This is a super pretty, easy to wear, office worthy, everyday kind of floral scent. I think it's got a really cool bottle, but I have the original AV, really kind of almost sort of space agey bottle. This is, I think it's like violet leaf and sandalwood and I think orchid is what they list. But to me, this just smells like a really summery version of the original AV. And it's kind of a little bit sharper, a little bit fresher, slightly more watery. The original AV is thicker, it's sweeter. The original AV kind of smells a little bit like True Love by Elizabeth Arden, and also smells very similar to Alfred Sung Forever. I decluttered that one because, and to be honest, I've only got a miniature of True Love now because I decided I liked AV the best out of all of them, the original AV. And this, it still has the vibe of AV, but it's lighter. Like I said, it's just, I don't need two massive bottles that have this kind of similar scent profile. And I much prefer the sweeter, more powdery version of AV. So I just need to declutter this one because I'm never going to wear it, to be honest. I did try this again on my skin quite recently before I decided to declutter it, and I definitely prefer the original, so that one can go. All right, we've got a double whammy here. This is Crush by Rihanna. It's in a slip thing, which makes it very likely I'm going to drop it at some point. I was just trying to see if it had anything. No, it's got nothing written on it that describes it. I think it looks much better in this just box like this, but fine. So I had Riri, and I was just thinking to myself, I might as well, because they're quite cheap, I might as well try these other ones. Because as soon as I talked about Riri, I was recommended by my viewers who like Crush and who like the other one that I'm going to talk about in a minute, Kiss. So I thought I might as well just give it a go. Crush, from the notes, I was like, okay, this might be right up my alley because it's like a fruity ylang ylang kind of scent, although it's got patchouli in, so I was a bit wary of that. I liked this perfume until it started to dry down, and then the wood in it, which is supposed to be cedar, it just started to smell like pencil shavings on me. But it's a shame because this one's super pretty, and actually, in a way, this one, what it kind of reminds me of is a Illicit by Jimmy Choo, but without the caramel, if you see what I mean. So it has that kind of vibe to it. I think it's super pretty, but Illicit also has a wood in it that on my skin just sort of turns into pencil shavings, and I really don't like wood that smells like pencil shavings, although it's kind of warm and almost creamy. As soon as I recognise it as smelling a bit like pencil shavings, I'm like, I don't really want to smell like pencil shavings, to be honest. So I just couldn't get along with it. But I do actually think it's very pretty. If you can wear Illicit, if you don't have if you don't get that sense of wood smelling like pencil shavings, I'd highly recommend Crush. It's really, really pretty. As is Riri, but I've got rid of that one as well just because it's not my favourite kind of fruity vanilla. So it's just not one that I reach for. I do like that one though, so I would totally recommend it. I think it's really pretty. So the other one that I got was more of a disaster. I just don't like it. So this is Kiss by Rihanna. I only, again, like that one was a 30ml. This is a 15ml, so just little babies. Although this one, massive packaging considering. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's so, so cute. There's just something in this that's so screechy to me, like so screechy. And then the reason I went for the 15ml rather than the 30 is partly because, I mean, they were actually not that different, if I remember correctly, in what the price was. It's so cute, it matches my room. But its top comparison is Alien, and I cannot deal with Alien. And what's weird about this one is that it's compared to Alien. It does kind of smell like Alien, but I don't think it lists any jasmine. I'm just going to actually look. No. Plum, freesia, neroli, gardenia, orange blossom and peony. But somehow, I don't know how, smells a bit like Alien. And yeah, I sprayed it on my skin to try it. Because like sniffing it from here, it's a pretty floral with a tiny bit of plum in it. It's slightly woody. got a really, really nice, slightly sugary sweetness, this one, rather than just a vanilla sweetness. But I put it on my skin and it just became more and more uncomfortable to me, the way that I react to like jasmine perfumes. So I'm not really sure how that works. It's a bit weird, but you know, that's again, like, just doesn't work for me. It's a real shame. It's a real shame because that one actually doesn't take up much space. And part of my decluttering right now is purely down to how much space I am lacking. Oh God, the noise of those plastic inserts is hideous. All right. I think I wore this maybe once and talked about it on my channel once in one of my what I wore last week. This is English Laundry number 7. I saw a couple of people talking about English Laundry on YouTube, so I went and had a look. And it's in the UK, it's almost impossible, even though it's called English Laundry. I think it's an American company. This certainly doesn't smell anything like anything English to me. So, yeah, oh God. It's got a magical base, but my God, there is something in this that's so screechy. This is supposed to have a whipped cream note, and I love that note, and I can sense that note in it. But yeah, like I said, I mean, thank God you can't actually get the bottles in the UK. I could only get these kind of pen sprays to try out, and I ended up accidentally getting 3 of them rather than 1, because I don't know, I ordered the wrong thing from eBay. But this has apricot in it, and it's got almond in it, and it's got whipped cream, and it's got melon and pear, but it's also got jasmine, and the jasmine is screechy as all hell. The musk in it is screechy. It's like lemon levels of sharp with an incredibly sweet sugary whipped cream base, and it smells absolutely curdled to me. Like, I just cannot cope with it. But what I will say about this is I can imagine this would be some people's dream come true. Reason being that I also can't cope with Wanted Girl. I think that one smells curdled. I cannot bear the kind of sharp fruits mixed with the super sweet dulce de leche base in that one. I feel the same about the Poison Girl perfumes. I cannot stand the sharp fruits with the extremely sweet vanilla-y base. And that's how I feel about this. So I would say, if you like Wanted Girl, if you like Poison Girl, you would be super safe with this perfume, I think. And I think you would absolutely love it. It's a very personal thing to me that I just cannot. I like sharp perfumes and I like sweet perfumes, but there's very few sharp and sweet perfumes that I like, you know, when that isn't a note structure that's mixed together. If it's really acidic and sharp and tangy, but then unbelievably creamy and sweet, I just can't get along with it. And that's what's going on here. I mean, this is one that I'll just throw in when I sell another perfume that has this like similar profile, and I imagine whoever gets it will absolutely love it if they're like ordering something like, for instance, Le Rive Fleur de Femme, which is a perfume that is a dupe of Poison Girl. So I have that one and I can't get on with that either. So the last in this particular video is Mon Eclat from Eclat d'Arpège by Lanvin. I always knew I'd get rid of this. I really hated it from the moment I first sprayed it out. This was a blind buy, as most of my perfumes tend to be honest, because I like cheap perfumes and you can't really smell them in shops anymore because we don't have Debenhams anymore, we don't have House of Fraser anymore. Boots and Superdrug are very limited in what they sell. They sell trendy stuff. Oh no! I was excited about it firstly because I normally absolutely love Lanvin musks. I love Jeanne, I love Oxygen, I love Modern Princess. I love them. They're like a creamy bar soapy musk. They're so warm and delicious. This is sharp and acidic and screechy and horrible, and I can't cope with it. Now again, not everyone's going to think that. If you like Idole, for instance, Idole Nectar is a good example of a perfume that smells awful to me. And Rose Extase by Nina Ricci, that's the same. I think there is a musk that they use in certain perfumes that comes across like pure acid to me. Like, I don't know why. It just doesn't work. This has notes of apricot and aloe vera in it, so it was really, really interesting. I thought it looked amazing, but there's also a jasmine, and honestly, if there's a screechy musk and then jasmine, it's going to be a disaster for me, because I personally, I can't cope with those. I was just hoping this was going to be like a really interesting soapy bar soap style musk, the way that most Londvins I've come across are, but oh no, it really genuinely smells like a Lancome perfume to me, and that is a house whose DNA I always find sharp, screechy, and it just, like, it does something weird to me, like I can't explain. I can't even smell the notes that are in Lancome perfumes that are supposed to be there. They don't smell like the florals that are supposed to be there. I can't smell like the caramel or the popcorn, for instance, in Idol. It doesn't even smell like rose to me. It just smells so screechy, and I think it's the musk. So if you don't have that same problem, you might really like this. Lots of people on the Fragrantica reviews do think it's sweet and pretty and like gentle and creamy, but I don't get that from it at all. And on my skin, oh my goodness, no, I had to wash it off. So that's me done for another declutter, and I will be back very soon because I've got another one I'm literally about to film.